All right, we are live, and this is going to be a action-packed episode. Three of them. We got Squeeze, Tooms, and Drive.
Yes.
Uh, you know what? Let's take it. Let's take it from Drive because it's
Oh
Vince
yeah.
Gilligan, it's Bryan Cranston, and we love the hell out of the both of them.
Oh
So,
yes.
let's take it to Henry on this one.
Oh, this was the best of the bunch right here. The three we watched, this was the one. If there's anybody out there who is not a fan of the X Files, has never watched the show, never seen one, never know, doesn't have a single slightest clue what it's about, I would recommend them watching this episode.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's in my top five of watchable episodes.
Oh man, this was a great episode.
Now, I'm
And
so glad I got you hooked on the X Files, Henry. You've got to keep watching, man. You've got to keep watching.
this was such a tremendous episode. I mean, you had, Bryan Cranston, who was at that time was known for playing Dr. Tim Watley on
Actually, he hasn't
Seinfeld.
even. That was way before Malcolm in the Middle too. This is before
Couple
Malcolm in the Middle.
About a couple of years before Malcolm in the Middle.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And he was on Seinfeld before this, right?
right. He was on Seinfeld as Dr. Tim Watley, and I don't know. Vince Gilligan saw something in Bryan Cranston
Oh yeah. I
and
mean,
decided to cast him for this episode.
yeah. He's. I don't know. Vince Gilligan has got the eye, and he saw it in
He
Bryan
does.
Cranston and Bryan Cranston. He's a he plays like some kind of freaking racist Klan member, I guess, because he was calling Mulder a Jew and all of his Jew buddies at the government. Oh my God, this is Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, and you go and watch him, and it's basically the opposite of Hal and Tim Whiteley on the Frasier
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yeah.
I mean, this was. I mean, the way Vince Gilligan wrote this episode was just tremendous.
Hmm.
It showed his early talent. He was also an executive producer on this episode.
Yeah, he directed it and executive producer. I think he
Yeah.
directed it.
No, no, no. Director was Rob Bowman.
Okay, it was written by Vince Gilligan and
Yeah,
executive
he wrote
producer.
it though. He wrote this episode, and I mean, what this episode consists of. What we see at the beginning, we see this news alert
Hmm.
where we see a car being pursued by law enforcement.
And
We see a helicopter.
that's got to be a satire of the O.J. Simpson case. That's the only thing I can think of that happened around that time for that happened. But
Yeah,
yes.
the OJ thing was like 4 years before, 1994. So,
Hmm.
I mean, and this was, the
98.
news report. Yeah, this was '98. So, and the news report was like, we're pursuing the police are pursuing this man. He appears to have someone in the back seat.
Hmm.
And the cops are chasing him. He's not stopping. They eventually they lay out the spike strips, and that stops the car.
Hmm.
And they get him out. He's trying to tell them, help my wife, help my wife.
Yeah.
His wife is in the back seat. Or actually, they take her out. They put her in the squad car,
Yeah,
and she's
so what happened was is that they thought he was she was a hostage.
yeah, yeah, they did. And she's banging her head on the inside of the window. All of a sudden, we see
Mhm.
this spray of blood. And her head exploded.
Her head freaking explodes. It just explodes. I'm like, holy shit! When I first saw this, I was like, holy shit! What the hell is going on?
Yeah, yeah, I know. It was an amazing moment of television.
I know. What was your reaction when you was watching this?
I was
Same as
like, oh
mine.
my, yeah, holy shit.
Exactly. I'm like, holy shit! What the hell is going on? And
Yeah,
then, and then what happens is that it affects whatever this thing was affects Bryan Cranston. Mr.
Yeah,
Crump. You got to refer to him as Mr. Crump.
Mr. Crump. That's right.
It affects him, and we don't know why. We don't know how. We don't know what the hell is going on. All we
Yeah,
know is that Bryan Cranston is hijacking Mulder, and he has to drive west. He has to keep going west.
West. Yes.
If he doesn't, if he stops at any time, Crump is dead.
Yeah.
Now this reminds me of a movie, the one with the bomb. We got to go so miles per hour, and the bomb, or else the bomb explodes.
Speed. Yeah, they
Speed.
made a reference to that. They made a reference to the movie Speed. Yeah.
Now was this before Speed or
This was
after?
after.
After,
This was
okay.
after.
So yeah, I can
Yeah.
see where Vince Gilligan has the idea of this.
Uh,
He wants Speed, and I think he done this better. I think this is better than Speed.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
guy's head exploding instead of a bomb. I think that's way more entertaining.
But now Mulder and Scully, they had been kind of relegated to the bottom of the bottom rung of
Yeah,
investigations. They were
I
looking
can
into.
feel your end for that, Henry. You have to watch the movie for that. That's the very first movie, the Fight to the Future.
Oh, Fight the Future.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta watch
Yeah.
the, you gotta watch seasons 1 through 5, then the movie, and then season 6 is explaining what happened. Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, the black guy is not Skinner. It's Agent Crush. I don't know how
Right.
to. Anyway, they're their new
We are going
supervisor.
to mention Agent Skinner, though. We are going to mention Agent Skinner later on,
Yes, and the
and the
cigarette
cigarette
smoking.
smoking man. Yes.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
and Mulder and Scully, they're investigating a possible terrorist activity involving manure.
And is
Now,
that reference to the Unabomber?
I don't know.
It's got to be it. Because I remember back in the 90s, there was this guy that had manure and he was trying to convert into a bomb. I don't know if that was
Right.
I don't know if it was the Oklahoma City bomber or the
That was
Unabomber.
Oklahoma City.
Okay.
That was Oklahoma City because they had that. They had all that manure. They used it
Yeah, so
on
I knew that had to be in a reference to something.
the federal building in Oklahoma City. Yeah. But interestingly enough, now the farmer they go visit is a musician named Junior Brown.
Hmm.
Now there's a slight Breaking Bad reference because Junior Brown is a friend of Vince Gilligan's, and he did a song called "Better Call
Oh
Saul."
yes, that's right.
Yes, Junior
The
Brown.
music
Yeah,
video of Better Call Saul.
right.
That
Yes.
was a great
So
music video, by the way. I like that.
yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, for Better Call Saul. And anyway, Mulder and Scully. Then they're talking to the guy. And then Mulder sees this chase on TV or sees this story on
Hmm.
TV. He says, "Oh, this looks interesting. We're gonna have to go look into this."
Yeah, and they do so illegally. They're not supposed to,
Yeah.
because that thing that happened between the movie and that. They basically, I'll just give you a hint. Basically, the X Files closed.
Uh-huh.
They shut down the X Files for some reason. You got to figure out that reason though.
Hmm. And let's see. Yeah, they eventually they go to. Well, it was Mulder that went because I think Scully was investigating she was looking into the body
Yeah, she was doing
of
the autopsy of it.
the autopsy. Right? Yeah, she was doing the autopsy on the wife.
Hmm. And man, that freaking scene, that jump scare of that exploding blood on her, that freaked me out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was interesting. Yeah, that was just that was absolutely fascinating. The
Hmm.
way they did that. Uh, and so Mulder goes to look into this because he went to the jail to try to talk to Mr. Crump,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't let him talk to him.
Hmm.
You
So
know, but they
but he followed him using
yeah
his car, and then the ambulance, they don't know what happened. When he was in the ambulance, they sped up to 75 miles an hour, and they thought, oh, we gave him some antibiotic or something, and and it calmed the pressure in his head. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, he
As soon as he regained his consciousness, I guess you can call it, uh, he basically hijacked the ambulance, got the gun, and carjacked Mulder.
he carjacked Mulder. And I mean, he was, he was sick, but he didn't know why he was sick.
He knew that the
So,
government was involved.
yeah, he knew the government had to be involved somehow. You know, and eventually, he's telling him to drive west. Now, remember that originally they were driving east, and then they turned around and started
Yeah,
driving
they made a
west.
U-turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was back when he was with his wife.
Yes. Right. And then they started driving west because they figured that was the best way to alleviate the pressure
Mm-hmm.
of whatever was going on with them. They had this this
Inner ear thing.
inner ear thing.
But I like this whole episode. This whole episode is great. And when we finally figure out how this happened, it was caused by some kind of power outage, and it didn't affect the death woman.
It was like low frequency type.
This low frequency sound that only like mimics the human skull or something, and it gets inside their head or something like that, and
Yeah.
it just drives them crazy.
So they're driving west, and eventually the authorities realize, oh yeah, we got to help this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Scully manages to convince them, and they even brought Mulder a cell phone. Now remember, Mulder had to stop though. He had to get gas,
Yeah, he got to
but
get gas, but you got to prepay.
yeah, he had to steal a guy's station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep going, and Scully has a way to alleviate the pressure, but he's like, but she says, but Mr. Crumb's not going to like it very much.
Yeah.
She's got this big hypodermic needle. She's going to try and inject it into his ear
Mm-hmm.
to alleviate the pressure. Oh man, that would hurt.
Oh, yeah, and he said you can't have anesthetic. No
No
anesthetic. He said
anesthetic.
there's
Yeah.
not enough time for
Oh man,
anesthetic.
that would hurt like hell.
It would. I would rather have my head explode than that.
But she figures that's the only way to perhaps save him.
But see, we don't know. His head exploded before they got there.
Right, yeah, because unfortunately, we see, Mulder finally gets to the seashore, but we don't quite know what happens until we see what's in the car. We see the blood on the inside of the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's already too late, so
Yeah, and that I did not see that coming. I did not see the guy's head exploding coming at all.
which I felt bad for the guy because all he wanted was to. I felt bad for Bryan Cranston's character because all he wanted was to alleviate that pressure. It was driving him nuts.
Exactly.
He wanted to alleviate that freaking pressure.
Mm-hmm. You feel sympathetic to him towards
Yeah,
the end.
yeah,
I
you
mean, he
do.
even apologized to Mulder, calling him a
Yeah,
Jew. He said he can't help the way he was raised. He was raised.
right. Yeah, yeah. He said he couldn't help it, so he apologized to Mulder and all that. Um, but I mean, this was such an excellent episode. I mean, Mulder felt. I mean, he obviously felt bad because he really tried to get the guy help.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about this episode is, unlike most of their Monster of the Week episodes,
Yeah.
this one actually has a little bit of plausibility to it. This could actually happen.
Oh yeah, I think it could happen.
This is something that could actually happen. This is plausible.
And who knows? Maybe it has already happened, and the government's just covering it up, man.
Yeah. This is. I mean, if they were to test this on MythBusters, I don't know. You know.
The frequency. I don't know how low it has to be before it can get in somebody's ear and
Yeah.
cause it that irritation.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine the agony you'd have to go through?
Hmm. Yeah,
I
but
just I couldn't fathom
oh yeah,
having to deal with
like I
that.
said, I'd rather have my head explode than I would get a damn ear injection and possibly get dead. But what we didn't touch
Right.
on,
That was
it didn't also affect humans. It affect animals too,
right. Yeah.
which was surprising to me because you saw the dog. It was like on the chain, on the leash, and trying to get away, and then it freaking exploded. I'm like, holy shit! It affects animals too.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh man. I was like, oh, poor doggy.
But then we realized that the deaf woman wasn't able to hear it at all. So that's how come she
Right.
was still alive.
She wasn't affected by it. See,
I'm trying to think.
because
Go ahead.
because of her condition, because of her being deaf, she couldn't hear it, so it didn't affect her.
Hmm.
You know, so. But I mean, this was such a tremendous episode, and yes, we've heard the rumors, we've read that this is the episode that convinced executives at AMC to cast Bryan Cranston as
Yeah,
Walter White for
yeah,
Breaking Bad.
yeah. It was, and
Vince
I'm glad
Gilligan
they did that.
Vince Gilligan really lobbied for Bryan Cranston to play Walter White.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they did that. I can't think of anybody else to play Walter White except for Bryan Cranston.
Oh, he was
Maybe
tremendous.
maybe Terry O'Neill. He might have could have pulled it off, but Bryan Cranston absolutely sold it.
Oh, excellent, excellent. This was an excellent episode. If I were to rank this episode 1 to 10, oh, it's a perfect 10.
Oh yeah, it's off the scale for me. It has to be
Excellent.
off the scale.
Absolutely excellent episode. You know,
Just like home. That was fucked up freaky, but it was fantastic.
the writing on this episode, the acting, the
Hmm.
production, and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
tremendous. The story was really good.
Hmm. I just cannot wait for the new episodes. I just cannot wait.
Oh man,
You
yeah.
got to get caught up, man. You got to get caught up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, but yeah, this episode, this is an example. This is good TV.
It is. I mean, it felt almost like a movie.
Yes, yes,
Almost like
very
a movie.
cinematic, very
Yeah.
cinematic. Yes, I
I mean,
agree.
big production values, big everything. It's just fantastic. And this
Hmm.
is from season 6 too.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm trying to think if we got anything, but I think we covered that pretty
I think
well.
we've, I think we've covered this one pretty well. Just, I
Yeah.
mean, excellent, excellent episode.
Now let's get back to a season 1 episode. Squeeze, the third episode of the first season.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Now this was an interesting episode.
This is a good episode too. It's been highly favorable towards the X Files community. I don't know what you call them. I just call them the X Files community. But yeah, everybody likes this episode and Tooms because this was the very first episode. Squeeze and Tooms. Tooms was the very first episode where they brought back a villain. They actually brought back a couple more villains later in the seasons, and we'll discuss those other villains because my God, there's some freaky ones up there. But Tooms is extra freaky. This dude, he can squeeze, hence the name, through anything.
Yes. Eugene Toombs. Yes.
Victor Eugene
Victor
Toombs.
Eugene Toombs. Yes. We start out with there's a guy in an office. He's working late. Has to call his wife, telling him, I have to work late tonight.
Yeah.
Have to catch up on some work. And all of a sudden, we see the ventilator, the ventilation.
The vent of the office.
You see the screws.
Now that is a
Loose.
tremendous. I love the footage of that. You just see the screws. You don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know who's going to come
Yeah,
out there. You just see the screws turning. You don't know what's going to happen.
I know.
And
You're
then
like,
this dude
what?
just comes, and this dude just comes out of that vent and freaking kills this guy.
Uh huh.
And then he goes back into the vent, screws it back into place. What the hell?
I mean, it leaves us with this mystery. It's like, you know, this is an enclosed office, locked door and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did he get in?
Exactly. How does this dude get in? And the thing is that we saw him get in through the
Yeah,
vent, but nobody else did.
right.
And I
Yeah,
lo- and I think it would have been a lot better if we didn't see him come in. If he just came out of the middle of nowhere, and then the camera pans to the vent, and that reveals how he came in. I think that would have been a little bit better.
yeah. I think that would have been a little bit more effective if they'd done it that way. You know.
But what I know, I'm an amateur at this. Clearly, the director Harry Longstreet knew what he was doing. And this is an episode by Glenn Morgan and James Wong, the same ones
Uh
that did Home. So you know you're in
huh.
for a special treat.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mulder and Scully are called in. They're trying to figure this thing out. And also an old colleague of Scully's, played by Donald Logue,
The dude that was in God, what was that sitcom?
Grounded for Life.
Yes, Grounded for Life. He's also in Gotham now. It's Harvey
He's
Bullock.
Harvey Bullock on Gotham. Yes, right.
Man, he is freaking skinny and young and clean shaven on this one.
Yeah, he's an FBI agent, and like I say, an old colleague of Scully's.
I think they probably had a relationship sometime.
Yeah, they probably did. They
I think
probably did. It wouldn't be surprising.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And of course, Mulder's old nickname is Spooky.
Spooky Mulder.
Spooky Mulder. Yeah.
Yeah, but uh, Donald Logue, the guy that plays Scully's colleague, he's really tough on Scully. He's like, "Hey, why you're better than this? You're better than Mulder. Come with me, and we'll solve this case together." But no, she sticks to a gun. She likes Mulder. She likes what she does, and who can blame her? I mean, if I was on freaking X Files for the FBI, I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happens is, one person's killed, and then eventually, what happens is they go to the building.
Yeah,
Mulder and Scully do a stakeout inside the building, and they see the vent. They see the vent. They see something inside the vent.
Mulder sees something inside the vent.
Yeah.
He goes to Scully and warns her. And then that's when we see the big reveal of Doug Hutchinson as Eugene Toombs. Now,
Yes.
Doug Hutchinson is one creepy little guy. He was creepy in The Green Mile. I mean, God, he was an asshole in Green Mile. I hated that guy.
Oh yeah, he was the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the asshole in
The
Green Mile with Tom
Yes, yes,
Hanks and
yes. Yeah. I thought he looked familiar. I said, I've seen him in something.
yeah. God, he was such an asshole in that movie. I wanted him dead. He freaking botched that execution. He didn't even put the damn water on the sponge. Man,
Yeah, I remember that guy now.
and
Yeah.
Green Mile was great. I love Green Mile. And I saw the Shawshank Redemption the other night for the first time. Fantastic movie. Love it.
That is an excellent movie.
Oh, the guy that plays the Ward, he's on Daredevil as Leland Owsley.
Bob Gunton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but Green Mile, recommend it. But let's go back to Tooms. He comes out of the damn vent and he gets whisked away to the holding cell and he takes a lie detector test. And apparently we find out that he kills people, he guts their intestines out, takes their liver, and I guess eat it so he can live for another 17, 15 some odd years. That's pretty messed up.
He was committing murders every 30 years.
Yeah.
Starting in like 1903, then 1933,
Mm-hmm.
then 1963, then 1993.
Yeah.
And he lived at the same address, 66, was it?
Oh God, I'm on the wiki page for X Files, so I got it.
Exeter
66
Street.
Extra Street. Yeah.
Yes, Exeter Street. Right, yeah. Lived at the same address, same person. The clue that they found was the fingerprint.
The
Remember they
fingerprint.
found the fingerprint.
And those two questions that Mulder had the lie detector test lady ask: "Are you over 100 years old?" And he lied during that, and that didn't even spark an interest for the FBI. They just said, "Oh, forget that.
Yeah,
Who cares?"
yeah. Well, I mean, because they figure it's impossible for anybody to live to be that old
Exactly,
and
but
look like that.
and plus it's Mulder too, and nobody really likes Mulder.
Right, yeah.
So you know, but the thing is, the thing that I get pissed off is that he does this every single episode. He says, "Hey, this is what's happening." Nobody listens to him, and at the end, it's like, "Oh, maybe we should listen to Mulder."
I mean, Scully, even as skeptical as she is, she sort of listens to Mulder.
Oh, just wait until the later episodes. Just wait. I mean, if you think she's like Renee right now from Finding Bigfoot, just wait until the later episodes. She's nothing like she is during the earlier ones.
Yeah, Scully. Yeah, if there were, yeah, Renee is kind of like the real life Scully.
Exactly.
Renee on Finding Bigfoot. She's like the real life Scully. But
Exactly. But
we
the thing,
love you, Renee. We love you.
yeah, we do. Just just be a little more open-minded. How about that?
um, but yeah, I mean, and what happens is we find out that this guy has built a nest in the basement of this building.
Hmm.
Built a nest out of like newspapers and stuff like that. He's got like bile in it. Ugh.
Oh yeah, this orange yellowish slime thing.
Ooh, that is just disgusting. You know, I mean, because they managed to track him down, then they find the nest. He's actually there, but we don't. He doesn't actually come out. We
Oh,
see his eyes though.
he steals Scully's necklace,
Yeah, right. He steals Scully's necklace because remember
and that necklace has a
she
story
said
behind that.
she said she it was snagged on something. Remember?
Hmm. You just see the hand, and the necklace just falls out of that hand, and you think, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is that Eugene Toombs has to eat the liver of his victims. He has to get like 7 of them, or he has to go back into hiding
Uh huh.
for 30 years.
Well, the liver is very rich in several like vitamins, vitamin D, I think, or vitamin B, or something like that.
Yeah, all these nutrients and everything.
Yes, it is. It is, and I mean, not to get off on a tangent, but that's what many Sasquatch researchers think. That's why many Sasquatch researchers think that deer are missing livers.
And then too, this might be Victor Tooms.
Yeah, yeah, it's Eugene Toombs. Yeah, that's who it is.
He's part Bigfoot somehow.
uh, but yeah, this guy, he is a freak. He's freaky, man.
Hmm.
He is just freaky. So eventually, Scully is back in her apartment. This is after, Donald Logue's character. Remember, she confronted
Oh,
him
I like
because
that. I like that scene so much. That is great. She just told his ass off.
she did. She
She
really
did.
did. She
And,
did
and this
because
is showing how much she respects Boulder.
right, yeah.
And this is the only third episode. This is just the third episode of season one.
But I mean, they kind of had a bit of a romantic tension between them. Mulder and
But
Scully did, but they
yeah,
never followed through with it.
well, you got to watch the season to see if that happens or not. You got to watch all of that. You need to binge watch, man. You got to after we do this, I'm going to force you to binge watch. Because you still got to do what, episode 5, 6?
Yeah, I gotta watch the Jersey Devil. I especially want to see that one.
Did you do Conduit yet?
Conduit. I think I saw that one.
It's about the boy that can receive messages through the TV, and his sister was abducted by aliens.
I think I saw that one. I'll probably watch it again though, just to be sure.
Yeah, check that out because that's a good episode as well.
But yeah, I mean, Scully's getting ready to take a bath. She's at her apartment, and Toombs shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Mulder is trying to call her on the phone.
Mulder knows what's going on. Mulder,
Yeah.
he was at the his Toombs' apartment, I guess you can call it. He
Uh huh.
knew something was going on when he didn't show up. He knew Scully was in danger, so he got on his freaking ass and go to his place. Tries to call her, but he can't get a hold of her because Toombs cut the phone line.
Yeah. Yeah. So he squeezes through the vent, tries to get at her. I'm trying to remember how they caught him. Oh, they he was right by the bathtub, and they put the cuffs on him.
Yeah, yeah. Scully got the cuffs and put one on. I think Mulder got the cuffs, put one on the radiator, and Scully cuffed him to the bathtub, and that's how they caught him.
Hmm. So they eventually catch the guy.
And you see
They
him in
put him
the.
in.
Go ahead.
They put him in the cell, and there's like one opening in the cell, and that's to put food in there.
Mm-hmm. And then you just see Doug Hutchinson ripping up newspaper, licking it, and making his nest.
Making another nest. Yes.
And that
Oh.
transitions into Tooms. But before we get to Tooms, we forgot to mention the freaking dude. You see the dude go down the freaking chimney.
Yeah. He killed the one guy. Yeah, but he got in the freaking chimney.
He went down the chimney.
A narrow chimney. He was able to literally squeeze his way into it.
And,
Oh.
and I know that the CG at its time was laughable, but that was pretty acceptable for me. Pretty
The
acceptable.
special effects. I mean, CGI was essentially in its infancy at that time.
It was rare then. It was
But
very, very rare.
they really did a tremendous job with it as far as making it look like this guy was literally squeezing into these tight spaces.
Yeah. And then you see camera shot where you see his hand and it stretches.
Yeah, man, that's some damn good camera work.
Now that should have been in 3D. That would have been cool and great in 3D.
Yeah.
But transitioning to Tooms, the freaking idiots let him out.
Uh huh.
They let him out after Mulder was right the first time.
Yeah.
He went back to his parole board and went off on a tangent. They said, "Screw you, Mulder. We're going to release him with supervision of the psychiatric guy, the
Oh yeah.
psychiatrist."
Yeah.
Well, the freaking psychiatrist didn't last long.
Nope. 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 And we see Mulder talking to Agent Skinner
Yeah, Skinner.
and the cigarette smoking man
Yeah.
is
Oh my
there.
God. Now, this is when Skinner. This is before he became the good guy. This is when Skinner was the hard ass, taking orders from the smoking man.
Uh-huh. And Mitch Pileggi, terrific actor. I've seen
Oh,
him on a lot of stuff.
Mitch
He was on
Pileggi's great.
Law and Order. He was on Law and Order Special Victims Unit for a few episodes.
Hmm.
He also hosted the revival of In Search of back in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
He also hosted the Breaking the Magician's Code, the Masked
Ah, okay.
Magician. He did Dallas, the revival of
Yes,
Dallas,
yes, that's right. He was on the revival of Dallas. That's right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
and he was in a movie, a prison movie. It might have been a horror movie where he was like electrocuted or something. I can't remember.
Shocker.
Shocker, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and Toombs, of course, he goes back to his job as a animal roadkill guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going picking up roadkill.
Now I saw him licked his fingers. Now, do you remember that? He licked. Was
Yeah,
he? Did he like touch the liver of the animal and lick his fingers?
I don't know, but oh, that was nasty.
Well, it is Doug Hutchinson, and he's one creepy, weird little guy. He married like that 16-year-old girl way back when. If you remember that,
Oh
do you remember that?
no.
Yeah. Well, what happened was is that Doug Hutchinson, he's like in his fucking 50s, and he dated this 16-year-old girl, Courtney Stodden. Google her. She's 18. She's like 18, 19 now, but her parents gave him permission to marry her. And when she turned 18, they got a divorce. So, so don't be surprised if Doug Hutchinson actually, comes out of his freaking shell once in a while and kill a couple people and eat their liver. Because that's something he probably would do since he,
Damn.
yeah. So he freaking, I don't know. I guess he was licking the liver of an animal. So I think that proves to show that he can eat animal liver too, and still have his sort of squeezable powers or something.
I guess. I suppose.
But yeah, so Mulder is out to prove a point again that he's still going to kill. He's still going to kill after 30 years of hibernation. He's going to come out of that and still kill.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened next after that.
He comes to Mulder's apartment and
That's right. Yeah.
he pretends that Mulder beat him up so he can get Mulder off his case.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yep. He sure did. That's right. He acted like he got because he scratched himself. I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, he scratches himself, he beats himself up, and then you see him go to the hospital and he's saying Fox Mulder did this.
It's very similar to the original Dirty Harry movie, where the suspect had himself beat up to frame Dirty Harry. It's very similar, very similar.
And
If you-
Mulder was watching The Fly, which
oh yes, yeah. Actually, he was trying to sleep.
yeah, he was sleeping. He was watching The Fly, and he was going to sleep too.
Yeah, the
So
original
I wonder
Fly.
if that was like a foreshadowing thing, or is there any way The Fly could be involved with Tooms?
I don't know.
I haven't seen the 1960s Fly in a long time.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I know
They show it. They show on AMC every so often.
because I know they remade The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Oh, that one was disgusting.
Well, it is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. So let's see. So Skinner has taken Mulder off the case, but Mulder still knows that this guy is still doing this stuff
Yeah,
because he killed the doctor. He killed the doctor.
yeah, he killed the doctor. He he's trying to go after Scully again, I think. But
Yeah.
that's not what happened. He tries to go after Scully, but he goes back to his hiding place.
Yep. And they track him down.
They track him down,
Now
which
they had actually built the building over, but there was a little panel that they opened up, and
right
he was
next to
down
the escalator,
right next to the escalator. Yeah, he was.
which involves the greatest death scene, death by an escalator. He gets
Yeah.
crushed to death by the escalator.
Uh huh. Yeah, he does.
And oh my god, that's nice. I like this episode. This episode is good. I don't think it's as good as the first one, Squeeze,
Squeeze. Yeah,
but
but this was good, yeah, actually, this time he was inside the freaking nest. In this
yeah,
time.
yeah, we saw him inside the nest. He comes out freaking naked, of all things.
Oh man.
Getting crushed to death naked by an escalator is freaking horrible way to die.
Uh huh.
But it's very entertaining if it's on the X Files.
Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, I mean, we had 3 really good episodes. The one we really liked was Drive.
Drive is great. Tooms and Squeeze is up there. It's not in my top 10 list, but it's in the good list. But at the end, the Smoking Man, he believes Mulder and Scully.
Yes.
He believes him, and
Yeah.
and of course he believes him because he's the one that's trying to cover everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. He. Yeah. He's like the cleanup guy.
He's Mike. He's basically the evil version of Mike.
Yeah.
He's the cleanup
Yeah.
guy.
He serves the same role as Mike. Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah.
what happens? I can't remember. It's the very season finale of season one, and what happens is that there's an alien. They capture an alien. I'm going to spoil a little bit of this, but he captures an alien, and he has to kill that alien, and he cleans up the evidence, and it's like Mike,
Like Mike. Yeah.
he's there. He's there to clean up the evidence and cover what happened.
Wow.
But the
That's
thing is
awesome.
Mike is a likable guy. The Smoking Man, I like him. He's great to watch. William B. Davis just owns that role, and I'm like, I want to see the Smoking Man in every single X Files episode because he's so entertaining. Because you don't know what his motive is, and that's great.
So he serves the same kind of purpose that Mike Ehrmantraut does.
Yeah, to an extent, but he'll basically Mike. He knows his limits, The Smoking Man does not. He would cross those limits. He would
Yeah,
cross those limits.
yeah. So I think we really enjoyed these 3 episodes. The ones that we got to watch.
Hmm.
Tremendous, just great. Like the writing on Tooms and Squeeze was really good too.
Yeah, it was great.
The story was good, especially considering that this guy had been a serial killer for like 90 years.
Hmm. And it was also written by Glenn Morgan and James Wong. And like I said, Henry, watch out for those Glenn Morgan and James Wong episodes because those are the good ones. So is Vince Gilligan's
The
and
Vince
Chris Carter.
Gilligan
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Before the this episode, Doug Hutchison really wanted to portray Toombs again, so he actually
Uh-huh.
wrote an episode for the X Files about the prequel, you can say, for Toombs, the prequel of Toombs. But for legal reasons, it wasn't read and it was sent back to Hutchinson.
Uh,
And the episode was called "Dark He Was and Golden Eye."
huh.
I think
Wow.
that would have been great. I think that would have been a good episode. I think that would have been great.
Speaking of Bryan Cranston, IFC runs for a few days a week. Very early in the morning, though. You have to be super early night owl to be, to see the Malcolm in the Middle episodes.
Oh yeah, or
Yeah.
if you got a DVR or have your brand new Galaxy SG and use your phone to change TV channels on your direct TV box. I
Yeah.
don't think you can do this for Comcast. But yeah, okay, so 3 good episodes of Vince Gilligan and 2 James Swong and Glenn Morgan episodes. You can't go wrong with those writers. The next time, the next go around, it's going to be October, and October is very close to Halloween. So I'm gonna do. Let's do a couple of Vince Gilligan episodes because his is freaking scary. Let's do one James Wong and Glenn Morgan episode. It's season 2, and it is. Let me bring it up here. I know the title of it. It's going to be season 2, episode I think 14. I'll make sure. Episode 14. It's German. It's called Die Hand Die Verlet. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. But what it's about, it's a substitute teacher, and she may be dabbing. No, no. The teachers of that school may be dabbing into the occult.
Ooh.
It's a really good, freaky episode. So let's do that one. We gotta get some Vince Gilligan episodes. So we're gonna do Vince Gilligan. Um, it's called Bad Blood. That is a great Vince Gilligan. It's really funny. It's about these vampires. It's a vampire. So that is. I can't remember what episode that was. I'm just gonna Google search Vince Gilligan real quick. But it's called Bad Blood, and it's a really, really good episode. Better Call Saul is filming, so we'll probably get that in February.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Let's see.
And
Bad
let's
Blood
see.
is season 5, episode 12.
Okay.
And
And we're gonna and a little reminder, we are gonna start back the Breaking Bad cast. Well,
in
I guess it'll be
October.
next October. Yeah, season
Uh,
4.
it's either Friday or Saturday. Probably it's going to be on Saturday because I work from 8 to 4 on Fridays. And
Okay.
usually when I get home, I take a nap. So it's going to be Saturday.
But yeah, Breaking Bad season 4. We're gonna start covering that one.
Yeah,
But boy, man,
it's Box
season.
Cutter. Box Cutter is the very first one. So let's
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yeah. So in October we're going to do the first 5 episodes of season 4
excellent.
on every Saturday, and then Sunday. Let's do Sunday. Sunday the 25th, the week of, because that's the week of Halloween. And we can do that. We can do these episodes on that Sunday. Let's see
Yeah.
here. So it's going to be Die Hand Die Verlex. I don't know. It's German. And we're going to do Paper Hearts. That will make you cry. It is an
Mm.
emotional episode. Um, Basically, it deals with this child molester, and
Oh my
Mulder.
God.
And Mulder, apparently, this child molester knows the whereabouts of Mulder's sister,
Oh man.
and it is emotional. This is it's so emotional. Vince Gilligan wrote it. It's really great. Um, that's going to be the three we want to discuss.
Sounds good.
You know what? Since let's make it four. It's Halloween. Let's do let's do five, because this is going to be a two-parter. Dreamland and Dreamland 2.
Okay.
Um, Basically, it features Chuck. Chuck.
Michael McKean.
Michael McKean. Yes,
Wow.
it features Chuck. And basically, what it is Michael McKean and Mulder switch bodies.
Oh.
And it's a good episode. And it's written by Vince Gilligan as well.
Vince Gilligan. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Vince Gilligan, Frank Spotnitz. He's also a Breaking Bad Better Call Saul guy, too. Frank Spotnitz.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be a chock full show right there.
Oh no, Frank Spotnitz is not a Breaking Bad guy. I was
Oh.
wrong. It sounded like a guy from Breaking Bad that wrote it. It's Vince Gilligan, John Shabian, and Frank Spotnitz. So, Die Hand, Die Velas. That we're going to discuss that one first because that's fucked up. That is seriously. It's not as messed up as Home, but it's equal to that. And it's a Glenn Morgan, James Wong one.
Uh-huh.
And then the we're going to do Paper Hearts for Vince Gilligan. We're going to do Bad Blood, Vince Gilligan. Dreamland 1 and 2, Vince Gilligan. So it's going to be action packed. So Saturday, October 3rd is Breaking Bad cast. Season 4, we're going to do the first 5 episodes. First 5 episodes of season 4. And then the 25th will be back for those episodes on the X Files.
Yep.
Any last thoughts?
I mean, this is a pretty wild ride. You know, the X Files with the X Files. It's pretty wild.
It
It's
is.
great though. I mean, it's
It is.
tremendous.
And I'm
I'm
trying,
glad.
and I'm trying to do the Monsters of the Reeks ones because I want you to watch the Alien ones before we can discuss those.
Yeah.
Because the story, I'm going to be honest with you. I first watched it. I haven't watched. I'm rewatching it. The first time you watch, it's so convoluted. You do not know. You can't figure out what's going on. It's so convoluted. So I'm going to watch on the second go around and see if it helps out any. For the first go around, you won't make heads and tails what's going on. But the Monsters of the Weeks ones is the ones that we're going to discuss.
Cool.
Because I like all of it. I like the alien stuff. I like the Monsters of the Week. I like the sci-fi. But the Monsters of the Weeks is up there for me. The aliens is going to be number 2 because It's so convoluted. You don't know what's going on. You can't hardly understand what's going on because it's like it messes with your mind. But yeah, so we'll see you here the 3rd of October with Breaking Bad, the 25th of October for the X-Files.
Yep.